Hello everyone and welcome back to Rebel Bricks. Today I'm kind of covering some small mecha that I had ordered. I spent the time yesterday trying to get them put together. They look really nice. I do have some issues with them actually. I kind of hate to do it this way, but I ordered these off of Amazon. They're from VIP Bricks. So we'll start off with our white mecha right here, and we'll just kind of go on from there, I guess. It's an interesting design. I like the designs of all three of them. I think design-wise it looks good. What they did for the feet was interesting because they actually gave it kind of a heel. They're using the Star Wars droid torso here, so they can make the bulk of the foot, and then we have the toes and our heel, and then it kind of connects another one here to the rest of the leg. We do have ball joints to make it work good, which I do like. I changed out our connector here. I actually have one of the actual Lego kind of turret pieces, so we can twist the torso. Otherwise, what I had in there, if I can get this to stand, they actually had this piece in there with just that one peg there to try and hold everything together, and it kept falling apart on me, so I had to change that out. The hands are interesting. I mean, I like the fact that we have 3 fingers. And this kind of connects here. I'll show you on this side. This does a little bit of a wonky connection in my book, but it works, at least for the moment. It's just, it wants to fall off. I mean, it's fine if you have it together, just to have together, but if you want to move it, this is where I start really running into problems. Everything wants to fall apart, so I guess what I'm going to have to do is try and figure out either if I just leave it together and just keep it in the background, which, I don't play with my stuff a lot, but I do look at it as a kid's point of view, because I view myself as an eternal child, I should say. I like toys. These are my models. But I like the fact that as we build things or have things, how much enjoyment are the kids going to have? And I know it kind of helped me out when my daughters were younger, and as they were trying to go through certain things, and what would work easier for them. Yes, I just had that fall off. It's like it really just needs a better connection there. So yeah, I don't, just trying to get it all to stay together. These 3 are a mess. It was a good go. It's better than what I've done, and I'll show you something I did based off of something else. And the cockpit does open up some, so you can get a figure in there. It's got some nice room in there. And it's got some what looks like jump jets to make it jump and go, which is cool. I like that idea. That's one of the reasons why I picked them up. They weren't overly expensive. That's the reason why I took the chance to pick them up and go from there. We do have ball joints here, which I think really would have worked better on the arms. I think if we had ball joints on the arms, that would work a lot better. And as you can see, this is not the first one that I'm having issues with. This was the first one I put together the other day, and yesterday I put the other 2 together. It's my weekend, so I'm doing a lot of building here. Trying to get some other stuff done, but when you start getting into sets that just keep falling apart when you're putting them together, it just drives somebody kind of batty a little bit, and it just got the best of me after a while. I was like, oh my goodness, I just can't believe I'm having this much problem. I really hate to see what a kid would be having and how frustrated that they might be. So I like the look. I really do. I think we just need more ball joints to get everything connected. And I really like how Lego does it, and that's why I have one of the Lego mechas here. They really do have things together a lot more kid friendly in that regard to be able to do that. So unfortunately for all three of these that I'm going to be showing you here today, I'm going to have to figure out how to take apart and redo so that way it actually works a little bit better as a usable, posable mecha. Even if it just sits on my shelf every once in a while, I like to pick them up and, you know, just kind of move their arms a little bit or their legs and maybe put them into a different pose. So, alright, so I'll take, and it was missing a piece on that one too, which I'm looking around, I was like, it's got to be here. It's just got to be there, but it wasn't. And I know it happens once in a while. I'm not too bitter about that, but this one seems like it's staying together a little bit better. The arms, in order to get a figure in, this all kind of opens up. Oops, I get my arm out of the way. So you can get a figure sitting in there. And it does kind of close up like this. I think that looks pretty nice. It looks like it's got a gun built into the arm. So if you were doing this on, you know, whether it's a Earth base, a Moon base, or whatever, that looks like that would do pretty good. They do have some fingers here on this one with a shield, so I do like that thought that, you know, if you're going to use it for something else other than combat, which, you know, I've played a lot of different games, the biggest one being a BattleTech, where they talk about people actually using their battle mechs, which is really meant for war, to help try and fix up cities on poor planets that just didn't have the infrastructure, and you had different units, you know, whether they're mercenary units or regular, in their world, house units that would kind of help out from time to time. As far as swinging the arms, these are just pegged in here. So just like, you know, putting a block on top of a block, that's all it is. There is no actual joint to this. So my fear is if I move this, it's going to fall off. So again, I think if I had a ball joint on there to try and get that to work, I think that would be better. The feet, we kind of have some toes and a heel. That looks pretty decent, and it is connected with a ball joint there, so that works pretty good. But this is just a loose, you know, it's just two pegs holding all this on, and their brick quality is not as good as Lego. I know one time when I was trying to set it down last night, a knee fell off. So, you know, when you're having these issues after a while, it really just kind of drives you bonkers. I love the ideas of these. Don't get me wrong. Whoever was designing these, I think that they were along the right path, but just the way to fully go about doing it, especially if this is going to be used by kids. And that's really where I think Lego and all the other off-brands have to think about this. You know, the kid's going to want to play with this without it falling apart on them. So this one is holding together a little bit better. I didn't have the arm problem with that one yesterday, or the other day when I was putting it together, and I had it sitting here for the last couple days. I've been working on our factory, but they had the arm just suddenly fall off, and now it just doesn't want to go on. I will have to figure something out there. And this one looks pretty good. I mean, they're not overly tall. So as I put our figure here, I mean, it's tall enough to fit a good narrative to say it's maybe, you know, 3 people tall. As far as mechas go and all that, that works pretty good. And then comes our last one, and this is the last one I was working on last night, and the arm's already off, and as I'm trying to hold it, the thing's falling apart, and then it's fallen on me a couple times, and I was just frustrated with this. I really liked the idea, you know, in the picture this came down and it looked like it met out here, but this all snaps together, so obviously that doesn't work. So I'm kind of confused. It does sit kind of like this, but now I have pieces falling apart. And like I said, part of it is their quality. Their bricks don't really seem to hold as good as Lego. I mean, I guess it's my fault for getting something that's not Lego, but you know, I think these were about $20 a piece, and sitting there saying, you know, I'd really like that design. That it kind of bit me, and here I am, and I'm kind of complaining about it. So how the arm actually holds on, so I have a small round piece that actually just kind of holds right on into here, and that's how it's supposed to stay on there, which I've got the one sitting there, but this one just keeps wanting to fall off. And it's got a cool gun, but then the gun falls apart because it's not held together very well. Yeah, it gets kind of goofy at times, I guess. I was thinking I could have maybe two of them for maybe like defense mechas or something like that, or something. I don't know. I mean, I do like the designs. Don't get me wrong there, but the actual putting together and trying to keep them together is what has been driving me nuts. And I'll show you here. I believe the frame is from what's called My Mech Build. I had gotten two base frames. They're both kind of goofy looking, and you know, the hands are all from them. The feet are from them. This is all me. I wanted something, especially I was thinking like on the moon, that he could scan, but walk around and kind of be on a mecha. I thought that would be kind of neat. This is from some extra leftover parts, or just parts I just quickly dug up about a month ago, or maybe a little less than that. But I do have the cockpit. I wanted the cockpit nice and open, and that's at a ball joint, so I can get. And I have Benny in here, so we have him just sitting in there, and then I can just kind of collapse that, and you know, for pretend play, that's fine. I really need to rework it a little bit better. Like I said, I like the designs here. It's a lot better than I'm doing for design, but I'm trying to build this out of just scrap pieces, and for a purpose of, like, you know, because I get the dish on here. So if you're on the moon or Mars or whatever else, as I'm doing some of my space stuff, I wanted something that would be able to scan. So this was a first generation idea on that, I guess. And I'll put this in the background. I did our Miles Morales, and I wanted to turn him into a mech, and that's one of the reasons why I picked him up, because I was kind of hoping maybe I could do it. And as I get him in here, I had actually fleshed out the chest a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't have all the black pieces I wanted, and these I really wish I had more of just the three peg squared off pieces or something else. Not quite what I have here, but you know, it does work. I have a figure in there. He's all kind of covered. Oops, and then he falls out. But I made enough of a cavity in there. I did have to change some things. I changed the waist here. Instead of the legs coming down, I put them off to the side, because the torso is a little longer, and I didn't want it to look too goofy, but I think it did kind of work out pretty good. I was happy I was able to get someone in there. I just wish I had some better pieces at the moment. I'm sure that I'm going to revisit him later, so that way I can get some better pieces in there and get them in there. I was kind of thinking maybe picking up the Spider-Man and the Spawn, or not Spawn, Venom, so I could have a couple different mechs. If you know anything about BattleTech, I was thinking something along the line of maybe like doing some construction mechs or something like that. Maybe even changing out the hand so that way I could have like a chainsaw, like a Forester mech or something along the line. And if people paint it up however they wanted to paint it up, that'd be fine. But that was kind of an idea I had on that one. So, but the nice thing is as I'm taking this out of photo for you, Lego, when they're doing it, we have some pretty good ball joints, and they're thinking about this for kids. So I think that works out pretty good in comparison. And then now this is a older Ninjago mech, which, I've picked up some Ninjago stuff. I do like the concept. It's just that I don't always have the funds to pick up some of their stuff, and I think some of their mechs are a little taller than what I really want, just being honest. They have more of the like the Power Rangers feel. They're super huge, and I'm not trying to go with that. In my mind, because I grew up watching Robotech and I was playing Battletech, and they have mechs that stand 3 to 5 stories tall. That's huge already, and maybe the Ninjago mechs would actually fit for all that stuff. I know I do have some other mecha sets from Lego that I could put together, but I thought that some of them are getting a little big for my view. Not saying, I like how they look. It's just, oops, oh well. Just trying to keep things to a certain size, because as it is, I don't want things towering over the city too much. I don't have a very big city, and I wanted to keep it kind of consistent there. So I figured if we have stuff that's a little too tall, then it might start looking too outrageous. Our Spider-Man, or our Miles Morales here, he's kind of getting on the fairly tall side, so having something like him walking around, that's really going to get kind of scary for a lot of people. And I will admit, I think that this mecha is probably only about like 2 stories tall, thereabouts, maybe just a tad over. So somewhere in that neighborhood, I think works pretty good. Because the other thought I have, and in my silly mind, is where would we store these things in my city? So, I think about that stuff. Probably a odd thought for some of these things, but it's just the things that go off in my head. But well, thank you for watching Rebel Brick today. Just kind of trying to show what I've been working on the sidelines outside of doing our factory, trying to get some comics going. We have to get some more funny jokes going off out in space, so we'll try and get that going here shortly. Again, thank you for watching Rebel Brick. Have a good day, and keep bricking.